Tipped arrows. Damaging projectiles introduced to Minecraft in 2016 in the combat update of 1.9. Is there much to know of these sharp-ended items? Well, let's find out. To craft a tipped arrow, there are some steps you'll need to take first. Foremost, you'll need to decide on your desired effect and craft its respective potion. Head to a brewing stand and combine that potion with gunpowder to transform the potion into a splash potion, and make sure you have enough blaze powder to allow the brewing stand to function. You'll then need to acquire something called Dragon's Breath. This can be picked up using empty glasses on pools of Dragon's Breath inside the end. If you've already killed the Ender Dragon in your survival save, then fear not, as it can be resummoned by placing down 4 end crystals around the exit portal like so. Once you've gathered plenty of glasses of Dragon's Breath, you'll then need to safely head back to your brewing stand and combine the Dragon's Breath with your splash potions. After a short while, they will become lingering potions of their respective effect. Jump to a crafting table and combine your lingering potions with arrows as displayed, and you'll be given back 8 new tipped arrows, and off you go. On the Bedrock and Legacy versions of Minecraft, it's a little easier. Cauldrons can be filled up with liquid from potions. Using an arrow on these cauldrons will create its respective tipped arrow. Tipped arrows come in either 2 or 3 tiers, except for arrows of luck, which only have 1 tier. The higher the tier usually results in a longer lasting effect and or a slightly more powerful version of the effect. Let's go and quickly learn about the types of tipped arrows available. Arrows of Regeneration causes the victim to slowly regenerate a small amount of health over a short period, but remember that they still do a very small amount of damage upon contact. Arrows of Night Vision enhances the victim's, vision, being able to see significantly clearer in darkness. Arrows of Invisibility causes the victim to become momentarily invisible, becoming harder to detect by most mobs and or players. Arrows of Leaping increases the height at which the victim jumps. Arrows of Fire Resistance causes the victim to become immune to fire damage and lava damage. Arrows of Swiftness increases the victim's overall movement speed and field of view. Arrows of Slowness simply slow down the victim's overall movement speed. Arrows of Water Breathing stops the loss of oxygen underwater. Arrows of Healing will instantly restore some of the victim's health points upon impact. Arrows of Harming are scary, dealing bonus damage on top of the arrow's standard damage upon impact. Yes, ouch. Arrows of Poison will slowly deplete the victim's health over a short period of time. These too can be quite the spook. Arrows of Strength increases the victim's melee damage. Arrows of Weakness restricts the victim's ability to deal melee damage. Arrows of Slow Falling significantly slow down the victim's falling speed. While the effect is still active, the victim maintains a decent amount of control over the direction they fall to. Arrows of the Turtle Master increases the victim's resistance significantly, but slows down the victim's overall movement speed significantly as well, much like a turtle. And lucky last, Arrows of Luck slightly increases the victim's luck attribute, which can be utilized well to find better items when fishing. Note that these are all of course momentary effects and do not last forever, thank God. However, there's one more arrow that technically isn't tipped, but definitely deserves to be mentioned nonetheless. That arrow is called the Spectral Arrow. A Spectral Arrow highlights targets hit for a short time. This highlight effect can reveal mobs and even players from behind blocks. Keep in mind though, a bow enchanted with infinity will still consume Spectral Arrows. To craft a Spectral Arrow, you'll need 4 pieces of glowstone dust and a single standard arrow. You'll be given back 2 Spectral Arrows in return. As there are now many types of arrows in Minecraft, there are 2 methods that you can use to prioritize which arrow type you'd like to shoot with, when having multiple arrow types in your inventory. The first method is by holding the preferred arrow type in your offhand and your bow in the main hand. Alternatively, for faster selection, you can simply have it the other way around, having your preferred arrow type in the main hand. This method suits a more combat-intensive scenario as it's great for quick selection. Then there is the second method, in which you can simply place the order of your preferred arrows in your inventory, having the most preferred arrow type closest to the top leftmost slot here. This method suits a more laid-back adventuring scenario. Remember, the effects of tipped arrows work against almost any mob, so if you're up for a bit of fun, jump into creative mode sometime and start firing away at random mobs and simply observe how they react. You may get a solid giggle or 2 out of it. If you're keen to become the master of Minecraft knowledge, I have an ever-growing playlist of episodes from this series. The link for that is awaiting your clicking pleasure right now in the description. Like always, if you want to get your comment featured in a video, I welcome you to make an episode request for a mob or item you'd like to see a video of next. However, it's time to wrap up this episode, but before we do, it's time once again for the trivia question. In blocks, what is the maximum distance an arrow can travel to when fired from a bow? Hello again, it's me, just letting you know that if you're keen to show your support and want to see more videos from me, simply hitting the like button helps out immensely. If you do, here's a virtual high five. Okay, bye.